Hello everybody and welcome back to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. Today we are looking for Marzai, who's been a very naughty boy. Look at all this carnage he leaves in his wake, bro. Holy crap. So much bad stuff. Bad juju. Let's go ahead and get in there and find him. Okay, immediately just... Somebody open the door before he gets me. Yeah, figured. Blah. Didn't even fall in the right position, Lamel. Okay, well.
I see what others do not.
What do you see with your special eyes? Ooh, a plasma gun. Damn, that's good. But Pastel's the only one that can use it. On my team, at least. Okay. Okay. Deck Enforcer. Lord Captain! God Emperor be with you, and with all of us, too. The Enforcer can barely suppress the tremors running throughout his body. Only you can deal with this spawn. Uh-oh. Slanesh. Permission to report, Lord Captain. It started a few watches after the translation. Well, actually, they say this associate of yours had been acting strangely even before that. It's as if he started hearing things. He was swiveling back and forth, barking something in his Xenos tongue. Then he grabbed his blade and sliced his hand open, his own hand. Then he suddenly howled and lunged at the people nearby. The voice of she who thirsts, Iliet's pale, turns pale. He heard the call. Any of our kind who find themselves beyond the veil become tempting prey for Slanesh. And your technology that protects the ship from her baleful influence cannot drown out the sound of her maddening voice. Point at the demonette. Can you see her? See who, you Lord Captain? Look behind him, glances at the deck, then turns to you, alarmed expression. Whom are you referring to, Lord Captain? Plato hasn't spotted anyone, but I can see his hair is bristling. I don't know what's going on, but we are prepared to attack even an invisible target. Just relay its position to us. Where's Marzai now? Who? Oh, the Xenos. He's holed up in there. He nods at the barricaded gate. He corralled a number of crewmen in there, like groks, to a slaughterhouse. All we could hear were screams. Well, we can't save them, so we locked them in there so that we couldn't crawl back out. Unless he finds a crack to squeeze through. The prospect of having a rabid Xenos crawling inside our bulkheads makes my heart sink. No, we ought to drag him out, then we either put him on a chain, or forgive my bluntness, Lord Captain, we swat him down and forget that he ever existed. Who were the victims of his massacre? Anyone he could get his hands on, your lordship, officers, serfs, the technomat. He even attacked a servitor. Although that didn't last long, he just tore its head off. The rest of them, though, the Xeno scum, tortured and the life out of them. You can see the color draining from the officer's face. I've heard enough, I'm heading inside. We'll unblock it right quick, your lordship. If only there was a way to flush out that fiend without going in. He stops and pales even more. Throne's mercy, I've completely forgot. The late technomat, he turned on some security systems right before he bled out. We figured if the Xenos thinks about showing his face, those systems will get him. The point is, we should go with your lordship. With your permission, it just wouldn't be right for the Lord Captain to go there alone. God Emperor help us all. The officer tries his best to speak calmly, but his voice is quivering. The thought of going inside the compartment that has become a death trap fills him with the dread bordering on panic. Who is this? Is it the ruler of the vessel that matter and the master of the lost child? Come closer, let me get a good look at you. Okay. Will do. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're coming. What's up, bitch? Oh, damn, your awareness is fucking cracked. I can hear beating of his heart, the roaring blood in his veins, the pulsating fear in his black soul. Okay. That's fair. Fun. Fine. Have a good day. Let's go here. We're gonna do that. Master Surgeon Gloves. The wearer gets plus 25 Medicaid each time the wearer uses a Medicaid. It provides an additional 6 temporary wounds. That's cool. So...
Later located something.
Whoa.
For me.
When the time comes for me to step into this world, we will be waiting. He will be waiting for me. Wow. Okay. Blado, no! Solomon?
Reports. The bane of an arbitrator's existence. At the end of every mission, I'm at the mercy of paperwork.
You're fucking kidding me, brother. Oh my god. Oh my god!
The Lex prevails.
Jesus Christ!
Dig around? Got it.
Thank God Glado doesn't set these traps off, dude. Okay, holy shit. First off...
Not a problem for a proctor.
That one, that's fine. That one, that's fine. That one, all good. Everybody leveled up from that.
Completed.
Excellent.
Easy.
Okay.
Not a problem for a proctor.
Not a problem for a proctor. You damn Skippy. Alright. Well, that was a lot of XP for that. Let's go ahead and just level up before we go in there. Let's see. We want either ballistic skill is pretty good. Fellowship is also really good. We'll take the fellowship. As far as this goes, I don't really have anything that I want. Gains plus 10% bonus to dodge and cover efficiency until the officer's next turn. That's fine. We'll take that. We want ballistic skill. Precedent sight. Additional dodge reduction equal to ballistic skill. Combat insight. Perception bonus is 10 or higher. They gain plus 1 AP and ignore enemies' deflection. Perception bonus? What is her perception bonus? Perception bonus is plus 7. Damn. Would this get this? No, this would only give us the plus 8. So we'll take the ballistic skill. Covert protocol. Impartial cover. Cover efficiency is increased. This bonus is doubled if the officer has not moved during this turn. Sure. We try not to move her. Strength on Cabela. Blood Rush. Whenever the Blade Dancer uses an ability that costs wounds, they gain 3 MP. That's cool. Kills an enemy, resolve goes up. Has 2 swords equipped, the Blade Dancer's weapon skill is increased by their agility. What is her agility bonus? It doesn't tell me. What is her agility bonus? It's pretty good if I remember. Agility. No, it's not. Plus 6. Okay. Oh well. Duelist. Oh, just does more damage against melee attackers? That's cool. Cassia. Let's go with willpower, maybe? Perception is also really good on you. We'll go willpower. Focus! Whenever the officer uses an ability on an ally, that ally gains bonus to their perception and ballistic skill equal to 6. These bonuses stack, but half of the stacks rounded up are lost at the end of the target's turn. Okay, so you just get more ballistic skill. Their weapon skill equal to 11 and will deal 8 more damage on attacks of opportunity. Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds. Is pretty cool. Uses it for the first time in combat. This ability costs -1 AP. That's fine. We use that all the time. Alrighty, we also want strength on. Clenched teeth. Damage deflection. It's the first attack made by every enemy this combat. That's interesting. Defensive maneuvers. They gain 11% dodge when take damage. Stacks up to 3 times. Okay. When the warrior is not attacked this turn, they gain 30% armor. Charge and slash do not affect this bonus. Interesting. Maybe we just stop attacking with him? Whenever the warrior is attacked, they gain +1 stack of epicenter of slaughter. That's right. Okay. Hardened scars. If they're hit under the effects of endure, their damage deflection is increased by 1 until the warrior's next turn. We use that all the time. That's beautiful. And then Solomorn. We can go with ballistic skill here. And then we can go with gains toughness equal to half his shield's block. As long as the arbitrator is more than 90% wounds, they're immune to blind, perplex. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like we can handle that. All right, let's get in there. Let's go ahead and open up the door and
let us see what I
God
found.
damn it.
It's about time.
Solomon, take care of that.
Check. Done.
Oh my god, stop. I have come because the prince wills it. The souls of all his progenitors belong to him alone. None will escape his embrace. Well, la-di-da, little Miss Lady. How dare you? And then go ahead and take care of that, Solomon.
Easy.
Was it now? Okay, any more traps? No, finally we're in Marzai. Marzai jerks his head when you appear. His already gaunt face is tightly wrapped in pale gray, parchment-like skin. With his teeth are bared feverishly, and his dark eyes have turned into 2 pitch-black mirrors that could show your reflection clearly if you were to gaze into them. He opens his mouth, but instead of words, an unnatural rasping hiss comes out. If this creature ever possessed intelligence, there is no sign of it left. Artisan of Pain. At last. The resonant voice that has followed you on your journey throughout the deck sounds like it's coming from every direction, chilling you to the bone. At last we meet, my poor child. Look at him, mortal. Look at how he yearns to return to the one who cares his kind. Jesus, rejects so stubbornly. Come, child, follow my voice, and my prince will grant you all the bliss and torment in this universe. She exclaims something in the Eldari language. The eludicator fails to process her rapid and elaborate speech. Without waiting for Marzai's response, she turns to you. My Darkkin has lost himself in the fight against the pull of she who thirsts. Allow me, however great our differences are, however dissolute and depraved the dark ways may be, I cannot blind my eyes and let Slaanesh take him. The warp spawns laugh musically. Sooner or later, all of his kind will step into my embrace. The prince is patient. The prince knows that every Aldari soul is already his. The demonette's voice suddenly forces itself inside your mind. But if you let me get close to the lost child, if you lull him into letting his guard down, my prince will reward you, Wilbur. The soul of this pathetic Xenos is a small price to pay for the blessings that come with my master's favor. I will not show leniency to the one who butchered my people. I will try to bring him to his senses. Oh, just straight up, damn. Marzai stares. The Drukhari stares at you without blinking, teeth still bared, his frenzied expression frozen like a mask. You hear hissing again, this time lower and angrier than before. Look closely at Marzai. You're being addressed by the rogue trader and the master of this vessel. I command you to compose yourself before the God Emperor's chosen and beg forgiveness for your crimes. You promised you would help him. I can persuade here. Marzai, can you hear me? Let's talk. Your confident voice reverberates through the metal room. The Drukhari blinks and then blinks again. The mirror-like surface in his eyes seems to ripple, as if something else is beginning to surface apart from the soulless reflection. Something vaguely resembling awareness. How many disjunctions did you survive in Kamorag, Marzai? The warp is powerless as long as you refuse to let it take hold of you. Master yourself. Your words appear to have reached Marzai's mind. He shakes his head and closes his eyes. Then you watch him take a deep breath and relax his shoulders ever so slightly. Laughing in your head turns feral. Why are you confusing and tricking the lost child? The end is decided, the end is inevitable. Coercion complete. What about all that talk about the great Aldari race? If only you could see yourself now, you worthless, quivering beast. A mirage of what it took from you to soil you. Mirage has always took his... He blinks, and his eyes ignite with a familiar look of fury and wounded pride. I will rip out your tongue and make you swallow it piece by piece along with your own teeth. Okay. The air behind Marzai ripples, and you watch as the demonite faintly visible silhouette bleeds out of thin air. The horrible mouth is sneering triumphantly, and the large pincer is rising higher and higher. Let the demon take him. Behind you. Destroy the warp spawn. Behind you! Aha! He parried. Okay. Now he's just gonna put his swords away. The demonette brings her pincer down on Marzai's head and clangs against his raised blade. Marzai crouches and shoves the shrieking warp entity away from him. No, no, you're mine, Marzai, you're mine!
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Here we go.
Has blessed me with new victims.
Oh, we're surrounded. Oh, my enforcers are intoxicated. Well, we're gonna see how long I can get away with not killing them. They're not really a threat, TBH. So, let's get people in there. So first off, Cassia. Honestly, we can put you here to take care of these two. Abelard, you can get right here. Cabela, you can get over here. Solomorn, you can stay back here and take care of this one. So we'll put you right here. Plato, right there. You're let's put you in the corner here, and then Wilbur will put you over here, and we'll start the battle. So let's see here. First off, I want to give voice of command to Cassia. Then I want to give her an extra turn. Then I want to do this.
That is foolishness.
Then I want to do
If
this.
I
Excellent. Oh, I could have used voice of command there. Actually, I just realized, because it was 0 cost. Let's give this to Abelard here. Let's go ahead and make our zones. That's good there. We want this one here.
Absolutely not.
Want this one here. And then might as well use everything, because honestly,
I can't do.
it does not fucking matter. Okay. And then this, break their ranks. Only target allies who are adjacent to enemies. On the officer's next turn, all melee attackers... Melee attacks made by the target deal additional damage multiplied by the number of enemies adjacent to the target when this ability is used. Okay. If the target is under voice command, they immediately make an attack of opportunity against an adjacent enemy, targeting the one with the lowest remaining wounds. Okay, cool. So I can actually do that here if I...
Not my specialty.
Damn, I can't do that, actually. Let's give it to him. And then you can go here.
Follow my lead.
And then you can go here.
Already done.
Break their ranks. Sure. Epic. 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 Okay. Okay, they really do be playing him better than me. Harry is crazy. And let's go ahead and take some shots here. I could kill you. Take you out of the turn order. So you're coming up as well. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. Hello?
Serves your cause. I hear you moving.
Thank you.
No more.
I don't know what the fuck that was. Let's go ahead and make some prey here. So we'll put prey on you.
Must.
We'll put prey on you.
Serves your cause.
We'll put prey on... Not you. I guess you.
This tedium is beneath me.
And then I say, fuck it. Let's use the Wild Hunt.
My heart sings with the thrill of battle. Fortune favors the swift. No weakness is hidden from my sight.
Think of agony.
Okay. So that's good. We can kill this guy.
Another soul slips beyond the veil.
We can kill this guy. Okay. We can put this on you, but let's go ahead and do something else here as well. Next attack this turn. Okay. So let's analyze enemy. And then we can put this on you.
Serves your cause.
Cool. So... I can do this. That's a pretty good one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this. do this.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Yeah, right. Get fucked, losers.
Me? If you insist, you'll...
Oh, I fucking hit the wrong one. Damn it. I was trying to do voice command on her. Okay, well, let's give it to you.
I'm a navigator, not a servitor.
You can get in there. Give you voice command. Give you strong point.
If I may.
Let's do that. Cabela. Everyone's dead but these two. And who goes next? Solomorn and Abelard go next. Abelard can probably take care of you. Let's go here.
Leave footprints of scarlet.
Let's go ahead and do all our bullshit here. So, captive audience, raining blood, where it hurts.
The shadows will see it done.
Reckless abandon.
Aim for the heart next time.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Let's hit him.
The other side.
Amazing. Incredible.
I bring mercy and retribution.
Wonderful. Okay. What can I do here? Well, I can go here, actually. I can do this. I can just do a shot like this, because I think this is gonna hit everyone. If I do this... Oh no, it can only hit them. That's fine.
I'll take
Yeah.
you as straight to judges.
And then we can run and gun,
Take long.
and then we can hit him with this.
The order is clear.
Okay, and then these guys are fine, I guess, apparently. Marzai turns to you looking the same as ever with the exception that you can see greenish blue veins through his parchment skin and something resembling terror in his eyes. They're gone, Wilbur. Gone, but still lurking at the threshold, keeping watch. I can hear their whispers. How do monkey bear them? From days and days on end. For days and days on end. You hear genuine confusion in his voice. You will hear these whispers every time the void vessel travels beyond the veil. Learn to accept this. Find an anchor for such times or lose yourself. Marzai scoffs. An anchor, Asarian? That is for those who seek to delude themselves with false limitations. As long as I have victims in plentiful supply, I won't let Slash claim me. Dogmatic, kill him. I've had enough of your heresy on my ship. Presence is causing me a great deal of grief, Xenos. Are you sure you've regained your senses? I never... He gnashes his teeth. I forgot myself for a moment, nothing more. Your presence is pissing me off. Voice turns to a furious hiss. Your kind step beyond the veil with nothing but your crude technologies and prayers to a deaf god. And you expect those such as I to rely on such partly protection from the terrors of she who thirsts? One of the enforcers lets his emotions get the better of him. Throne's sake, Lord Captain, why are you even listening to him? That there Xenos is worse than a wild beast. How can a ship that sails in the God Emperor's light allow one of his enemies to act like his masters here? He's master here, sorry. Marzai looks at the man hungrily. The living meat that serves you talks too much. They would, however, make for perfect playthings. He looks straight at you. I need strength in order to suffer through your oafish voyages beyond the veil. If I don't obtain a source of such sustenance, Lanesh will only keep testing my limits. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Lord Captain, the officer has a point. Abelard glowers at Marazai. If things continue on like this, we might end up with a mutiny on our hands, a massacre during every warp jump, as if we didn't have enough troubles to deal with on a days like this. He shakes his head. I will change nothing. Marazai is free to hunt wherever he pleases on my ship. I shall grant you hunting grounds, Marazai. A bay on the lower decks. You can do whatever your heart desires down there, but you are not to leave its bounds during warp jumps. I forbid you from moving about the ship unsupervised, and from here on out, you will be kept under lock and key during warp jumps. The alternative is death. The choice is yours. Marzai freezes. You meet his enraged gaze, filled with the promise of torture and agony, but then you almost see something inside him give, forcing him to incline his head slightly. Let it be as you say, Wilbur. Officer cannot suppress a relieved sigh. Well, that's something at least. Many thanks, Lord Captain, your lordship. Okay. Cool. Have a good day. Ya bitch.
None shall stand in my way.
You suck, homie. I didn't... Oh, I did have stuff to loot. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I did actually have stuff to loot. I wrote it off immediately. Look at that! Arch Strategist's Visor. The visor gains an additional stratagem. All allies can target combat tactics areas, instantly reload their weapons after each attack made by them until the start of the wearer's next turn. Holy shit, that's cool. I'm taking it. Why did I exit out of that? And then we go here with the goods on this guy. Excellent. And Marazai's here. But he doesn't want to speak to me. So now we're going to go back here. Everybody's going to run their ass off. We're all in a straight fucking line. Look at this Scooby-Doo ass line they're running in. Okay, you're fine. Alright, back to the bridge. What the fuck were we doing now? God, it's been so long, I don't remember. Well, good start to the episode. Saved his ass, and now we can lock him up. Because honestly, let's be real, he needs it. He's a little shithead, but he's a party member, so he gets special treatment, even if that special treatment is literally just not being killed on sight. Okay, back to the map. So we are going to Vabo 6, I believe, was what we wanted to do. And we also have this. Reach the system mentioned by Millian's message. So what is this? Dargonis. This is Vabos. Okay. So we do have this here. This one to go to. So, wow. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Sourback's voice is resonant. Mistress Cabela has been apprehended by enforcers at the scene of a crime. Eyewitnesses saw her assault and kill the esteemed Churgan Majoress. She has confessed to the murder. The penalty for murdering a senior officer is death. However, given Mistress Cabela's honorable service and her special status, I dare not proceed without your permission. She is incarcerated and awaiting your judgment. Let me know when you are ready to hear her case. Okay. Well, shit. Steady rhythm, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we do that. Let's visit this, because we do have a thing here. Abandoned palace? Hold on, what was the thing? What was the thing here? Because it was in a question mark thing. It was in this. One-way road? What is one-way road? One-way road. One-way road. Rumors? One-way road. Here we are. There's been an unsuccessful attempt to restore the abandoned colony in blah blah blah. The colonist ship went dark shortly after arrival in the system. Vessel's fate could be worth investigating. Okay. I think it's this one, the ice world. Didn't we already go here though? No, not Adira. Why Adira? Wait, where the fuck is... I'm an idiot. Oh, where's Cabela? Where could Cabela be? Duh. How do I fucking get out of this goddamn thing? Thank you, back to the bridge. Jesus, I'm losing my mind. Okay. Yeah, we gotta go get Cabela. Okay. Sourback. What the hell is going on here? Bring Cabela here. I want to know what drove her to murder. Let justice be done. Wow. Cabela, you've been sentenced to sniff my feet. Lamau. Your lordship, Lord Captain, a murder has been committed on the ship. The victim is one Letard Forius Churgan Majoris. The perpetrator was apprehended at the scene of the crime, admitted her guilt, and did not resist arrest. Appears cold and apathetic. Her unblinking eyes stare vacantly, her cold, expressionless, odd. The furious plan invokes the ship's tradition of summoning a requisitor to testify on behalf of the deceased. The masked man bows stiffly and discourteously. A requestitor. Explain. When there is no one to speak for a deceased person in court, their representative is entitled to seek assistance from a member of the guild. Their duty is to know and remember each and every person on the ship so that they can defend the interests of the deceased and represent them in court. What the fuck? They study the victim's entire life history to gain the most detailed impression of their personality, deeds, and aspirations. The guild was founded by one of your distant ancestors, and to my knowledge, the guys only exist in our glorious flagship. How do you feel, Cabela? I am fine. She turns her face towards you slightly. A whisper escapes her wrist. This is just a hollow ceremony. Pointless. Let us see just how well he knows the deceased. Tell me, dude, what did Furious like and dislike about his work? The masked head lowers. The man strokes his chin contemplatively. He was fascinated by diseases, injuries, pathogens, complications. The part he disliked was the patients. They would not let him concentrate on that which he was killing, which was killing them. Why did they speak to the late? Why is a blah 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 speaking for the late Churian. Does that mean does the man not have a family? The clan to which the deceased belonged are wary of bringing accusations against the Lord Captain's companions, and the esteemed Letard never made any courageous friends in his life, having always preferred his work to the company of others. Tell me about the circumstances of the murder. The eyewitness accounts don't give us much. The decease of the murderer had a brief conversation following which Mistress Cabela beheaded the Churgan Majoris. The witnesses did not overhear any details of the conversation. Is that true? You killed him? Yes. Neither Churgan's death nor her own impending punishment seemed to trouble Cabela. Her pensive, dark gaze wanders around the bridge. It was me. Why did you do it? The Heartless Man enjoyed what he did. His work should have been a holy mission of service. The fuck? Your influence has made Cabela adhere to the tenets of the Bloodspun Web with greater vehemence. The pain of the thousands should have been a solemn sacrifice, yet he derived pleasure from it. It was repulsive. The Undying One never whispered his name. I myself decided to sever his thread. God damn it, girl. Don't you fucking pipe in, dude. He shrugs. So she felt like killing some servant? Why do they all take such offense? Is every corpse going to cause such a strife? A stir? From now on? I told you it would end like this, but why should anyone listen to little old Jai? She shakes her head sullenly. Her colors have changed. The scarlet and the gold are drowning in the rage of muddled crimson. The misty blues of sorrow and the impenetrable greens of doubt. These shades are all in conflict, melding together in a frenetic tapestry. Jesus Christ, really? All the way over there? You walk a narrow, dark path across a yawning abyss. It's a small wonder that you stumbled. The soul already mangled by bloody and frightening service has fractured further still. Can it be saved? I'd fall silent, leaving your own question unanswered. She was never sane to begin with. Judging lunatics is a thankless duty. The more important thing to address is that her cult is guilty of having drilled the notion of chosenness into her head. The whole sect must answer for this incident. Let's hear from the victim's representative. Masked Man's voice was unpleasantly creaky. The esteemed Letard served this void ship and this dynasty for many years. He treated the sick and gained his knowledge as his trade commanded. He saved many, but he himself was not saved. He caused Mistress Cabela no grievances. He never offended her. He merely answered her questions regarding his work, whereupon he was attacked. And so, he has the right to demand a reckoning. The death of his murderer would be lawful and proportionate retribution. The Heartless Man did more than heal people. He maimed them too, tortured them, killed them slowly, and observed. Okay. Frowning, Cabela adds, there was another like the Heartless Man, a Xenos in the Dark City who lorded over flesh and oversaw unholy resurrections. Oh no. He rescued one of 3 Cabelas from the homunculus' laboratory after she had undergone his profane experiments. They were both touched by the same corruption, that of hubris. He treated the sick and he gained knowledge. Masked Man jerks his head up haughtily. The boots of those who walk the path of wisdom leave bloodied footprints. It is a rule that existed long before the esteemed Letard did. Whom specifically did he torture? Unimportant people. Common people. Doomed people. Shakes his head, shakes drop of imaginary blood from his hands with disgust. This was the esteemed Letard's way of thinking. Does a doomed leper care whether the disease or a knife is the cause of the pain? Is the formula from a medicine that would cure disfigured officers not worth the lives of a few dozen commoners turned test subjects? With the knowledge he gained, he invented a multitude of balms, antidotes, and treatment methods that went on to save thousands of lives. His methods were revolting. These arguments are sensible. Ferber's nonchalant disregard for common humanity is worthy of respect. Everything is clear. His methods were revolting. His methods were efficient. Only one who has never lain upon an operating table would prefer a principled healer to a competent one. I've heard enough. We humbly await your verdict, Lord Captain. My companion is within her rights to kill anyone on this ship. Her accusers, on the other hand, are not but dust. Do not touch her, is that clear? Bella is not subject to ordinary justice. She serves the Emperor through death, and as such cannot be convicted for a death. The clan will be awarded a generous indemnity for their loss, to be paid by me. He deserved to die, and I'm not going to punish Cabela for that murder. As for his practices, they are henceforth banned on this ship. I find Cabela guilty, but she will receive a more lenient penalty than death. A murder was committed. The punishment for that is clear. Let the law triumph. Commence preparations for the execution. Why are you making that pose? Why are you, like, begging? The fuck? Shit. There's a couple of things that I want here. I want to pay off his family. I want the stuff to stop. Let's just pay off the family. I humbly declare that the esteemed Letard was indifferent to the fortunes, good or otherwise, of his estranged kinspeople whom you have made rich, and that he would not be satisfied with this ruling. I cannot be put on trial. Cabela's words are barely louder than a whisper, but everyone hears them. She raises her head, face deathly pale, as if she is asleep with her eyes open. None have the right to judge a spinner of death. Uh-oh, who's this coming in? Hello. Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. Only he can judge. Through the Vizier's eyes were sewn shut. One can still read the grief that permeates his wrinkled features. He whispers in a sorrowful voice, "You have strayed from the thread. You have doomed the tenets of the Bloodspun Web to oblivion. What a sorry end, for me, not for you. For I am compelled to usher my apprentice's soul to the other side before it is my own time to go. Why have you come here, Vizier? Grant her grim soul mercy, let her die. The blame for what happened lies not in Cabela, but with your entire perverse philosophy. Enforcers, I ordered you to cull every member of the Bloodspun Web on my ship. Why have you come here, Vizier? To take the one who no longer sees the tenants, to give her to him. She is dangerous, to pacify her forever. Such is my duty, and so it must be. Did he whisper my name to you? I do not believe you, Mentor. I am loyal to him. You must have been confused and misread his signs. I never gave you permission to harm my servant, Vizier. What is happening to her? She is not herself. What's happening to her? The second spinner is in the throes of a spiritual alignment that we call doubt. This most terrible ailment, though harmless to layfolk, is deadly to us. For a doubtful spinner will stray from their destined thread and into bloodthirsty madness. Doubt brings them to the Undying One before their time. Our service is demanding. It requires clarity and a sense of purpose that she no longer possesses. Long have I sensed the seeds of anxiety in her, and I hoped her reason would prove stronger and prevail. Alas, I now see the mark of despondence on her. Alas, I know that I am not mistaken. There must be a way to help her. How would one heal the soul of another Domin? She is fighting a losing battle inside her mind, one she has all but lost. We cannot enter her mind. We cannot reach out a hand to her, although you could. A thread binds the Domin and his shadow together, a rare thread, a shared thread. Will that connection be enough for your souls to enter into harmony? I must attempt to save her at the very least. The Vizier turns his face towards Cabela, who seems withdrawn, her spark snuffed out. He whispers, "Then seek a steward of souls, an artisan who will put you both in a psyker's trance, allowing your minds to become one. You have a chapel full of astropaths, Daman. One of them will surely do you that service. See that their guidance is strong, for inside her soul, you will encounter monsters. A doubt-ridden mind is a dangerous place." Interesting. So now do I go to the Atropathic Choir? Shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck. Lamau. We want to go down here. Oops. Cabela's not on. Oh, she is. Maybe I talk to her first. Maybe I talk to her first. Not now, Domin Wilbur. I must clear my mind. Okay. Well, let's go to the Astropathic Choir. See if we can't get someone to come down here. Astropathic Chapel, excuse me. Adira, no. Cabela, yes. Accept. Intriguing. Yes. Well, that was definitely an interesting turn of events. I bet if I hadn't taken her with me, this wouldn't have populated. Let's talk to Zachary. Can you put me in a trance with Cabela? I need to get inside her mind. How are your ghosts, Wise? Looks away embarrassed. The mistakes of the past no longer haunt me. Not in my dreams or in reality. But I still remember. I remember every single one of them. Cool, can you put me in a trance? A synchronized trance is a complex telepathic practice. Things can go awry unless both participants trust each other and have a strong spiritual connection. However, I can sense that you do. I would be honored to be your guide during the ritual, Lord Captain, but remember, it is easy to get lost in another person's thoughts, in the fears of others. House monsters. I'm prepared for the risk. Put us into the trance. May the God Emperor aid you, Lord Captain. Okay. Wow. Epic. Oh, okay, it's one of these. Aww. Cronus Expanse. Lord von Valentius' flagship. Book of the Dead, the Holy Scripture of the Cult of the Blood-Spun Web, author unknown. A shackled mind cannot comprehend the wisdom contained herein. Therefore, repeat. He is death. Release your breath with every word. Cleanse your thoughts. He is death. Truth lies in death. Free your soul from the body's cage. Become nothing. He is death. Now that your heartbeat is in perfect line and your vision is shrouded in dusk, you have almost reached a state of purity and balance. Heed. No human will see death before their time. That is the delusion of the living. Heed. To which we say, a strong spirit can travel there and make the journey back. Heed the tale of the great Domin Wilbur, who descended into the kingdom of the dead to retrieve his shadow. He is death. Birth and death are one. We are snatched from a place of warmth and sent blood-covered into an unfamiliar world. Dying is the same. The Domin, too, learned this as he opened his eyes and found himself on the lower decks, lying in a cold coffin. He beheld his ship, drifting through nothingness. The adamantine giant's corpse and a skeleton moaning from the winds of entropy. A tempest of rust was gnawing at its plasteel bones and twisting its vein-like cables, while machine oil oozed down its bulkheads like lymph. Had the Domin been alone, he would have lost his way inside the ship's mangled bowels, but a guide reached out a hand to him. The spirit of old Vane Zachary had loyally followed the Domin to the other side. In the labyrinth of the hereafter, the piercing gaze of Vane Zachary discerned the thorny path to the halls of death. The loyal servant swore to protect his lord. Together, the Domin and the Vinny made their way up through the malformed frame of the ship from the cold catacombs of the lower decks. They traveled up into the fires of the ship's crematorium. Tongues of flame licked at them, yet they did not burn. Columns of the dead marched towards them to be turned to ash in the fire, and the Domin and the Venny walked towards the dead in turn. At the great gate of the crematorium, their path was blocked by the executioner, a sentinel made of metal spikes and coiling blades with roaring flame and pale, bleeding bodies writhing within. Such is a blade that has not lost the strength of the tenants. A murderous monster no longer driven by faith, but by dark desire. The Domin saw that a fight was inevitable and struck the first blow, aiming for a weak spot, trusted his nimbleness and tried to slip past the monster. Banished the monster with a fervent prayer to the Emperor. Let's do that one. The beast prostrated itself and began to tear its own body apart. For words of true faith pacify even the worst of evils with the sense of shame and self-loathing. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Domin's hand. It was the God Emperor. And the first doubt was dispelled. He is death. He is death. Vani Zachariah led the Domin out of the hot furnace of the crematorium, and they walked past long columns of the dead. Frayed was their attire. Their bones scraped against their augments and scratched their decrepit flesh. They were moaning sorrowfully, and the sound made memory fade away. The Domin saw that the dead were carrying an ark, and inside the ark was a thing, a lost child cocooned in silk, shedding crimson tears for the unknown. The unliving carried her as servants would carry their lady, and loudly lamented their fate, such as a blade mired in blood broodings over a long past, a helpless child paralyzed by regret. Lest he sink into the soft rot of their wails and perish, the Daemon spoke gently to the lost child, press onward, pushing the dead away from with his strong arms, sternly ordered the apparition to vanish. Spoke gently to the lost child, and the lost child's tears were dried, and with a meek sigh she returned to nothingness, for mercy too can be the blade that brings peace. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Daemon's hand. It was the star, and the second doubt was dispelled. He is death, he is death. And the old Vinny led the Daemon to the upper decks, and the Daemon entered into the officer's chamber. A web of veins adorned the walls, entangling the precious trophies, and statues were bound in intertwining sinews. And high upon the balcony, the dismembered judge wailed as he attempted to resemble himself with his pale hands, and his movements merely tightened the tangle of the flesh, turning the chambers into a snare. Such as a blade tangled and trapped in misunderstood teachings, a hapless creature that does not know its place in the world. In order to continue his journey, the Daemon helped the judge by returning each of his organs to their proper place, attacked the obstacle of flesh in his path, tearing it apart and destroying it, studied the tangle of flesh for secret signs that would show him the way. We'll do that one. And the Daemon read the words and spoke them, and the judge's body began to rebuild itself into a new design, as beautiful as it was terrifying. For nothing was impossible when a soul has grasped the hidden wisdom. And a card of his tarot appeared in the Daemon's hand. It was the rogue traitor. And the third doubt was dispelled. He is death. He is death. Okay. The flagship's bridge was draped in skulls and webs, and pale souls of the dead flocked to the foot of the throne upon which sat the Undying Emperor, the protector of mankind. May his praises be innumerable. Starlight shone coldly in the eyes of his skull, and the galaxy rested in his mighty hand. Daemon approached his throne and went down on one knee, offering him a prayer, greeted him with pride and dignity, spoke brazenly, demanding that he vacate the throne belonging to the Daemon. We greet him with pride and dignity. No, I think we go down on one knee, offer him a prayer. The Undying One heeded the words spoken to him and lowered his brow of bone, acknowledging that he had heard the prayer, as he had heard the Daemon's other prayers before. Then the Undying One spoke, and these words are to be preserved in your heart as the greatest of prayers, for they sprang from the source that was and is the holiest of all things. I know you, Daemon. I know your heart, and the softness that dwells within it. Many who were due to pass on to me remained alive as your heart willed, but I am not angered, for they will pass on to me in the end. The Undying Emperor, may his praises be innumerable, said no more, and it was the Daemon's turn to speak. And speak the Daemon did, saying that he had come to find his shadow and rescue her. Oh, cool. The skeletal fingers stirred, and the Daemon's shadow loomed out of the darkness beside his throne. She was bound in black chains and asleep. The Undying One was silent. Now was the time to offer a payment, as death would give nothing away without payment in return, and the Daemon promised the Undying One nothing, for everything in his world is nothing, and the Undying One himself is Lord of nothing. To spare him from the ruthless execution if he surrendered the Damon's shadow at once. Himself and his soul, the life of any calling themselves an enemy of the Undying One, that he would honor him with the sacrifice of myriad lives. Let's do the Iconoclast one. Those were true words, for everything is indeed nothing, and the Undying Emperor is Lord of nothing. For all things live only to turn to dust in death. The Damon's wisdom pleased the Undying One. Then the Undying Emperor leant over the Daemon and drove a skeletal finger right into his heart, and he pulled out a sacred thread of his soul. And the thread trembled, stretched to the limit. It was then that the revelation came to the Daemon. A life must be paid for a life. And a name was revealed to him. Naki Erebus. That was the life the Undying One demanded as payment, and the Daemon agreed to pay the price. An oath of blood was sworn, and the chains fell from the Daemon's shadow. Yet she remained silent and motionless. For her, she saw no sense in leaving the halls of death, to which the Daemon told her that her duty to the Undying One and the Daemon had not yet been fulfilled. That in beholding death as one of the living, she had received a gift of unparalleled greatness. That her congregation was suffering without her protection and the Undying One's mercy. We'll tell her the death is a thing, a gift or whatever. And there was clarity in the Shadow's soul, and her eyes opened, her doubt was banished, and she glimpsed the truth in her Lord's words. That the Shadow's encounter with death had taught her many things about the flow of fate's currents. And thus, she was now positioned to decide which thread to sever. The second spinner Cabela, Death's chosen one. May she be glorified. He is death. He is death. The Daemon and his shadow left the bridge of the Undying One, Emperor. May his praises be innumerable. And their path was strewn with his tarot cards. Among them, Daemon saw the card of the executioner who carries out sentences and brings a violent end to that which he did not begin. Among them, the Daemon saw the card of the lost child who was torn from her roots and her support, but carries within her the still hidden seeds of a promise to recover them someday. Among them, the Daemon saw the card of the judge who weighs and separates guilt from innocence and passes his verdict. And they descended into the lower bays, laid down in a stone coffin and closed their eyes. And the Daemon heard the Undying Emperor's voice promising they would meet again, and soon. And thereupon their journey ended. And so it was that the Daemon, having seen death before his due time, traveled there and back to bring us these tidings and wisdom. Be free of doubt as you walk along the threads of the blood-spun web, for those threads lead to him, as does all of existence. He is death. He is death. Holy shit. As the shock of another's mind's jumbled thoughts stop constricting your throat, you find yourself staring at Cabela's pale face. It has started to... has settled into a strange expression. Daemon Wilbur? I spoke to the Emperor. That was not the Emperor, Lord Captain. It was merely Mistress Cabela's vision of him. A figment born out of her imagination. Alas, none among my fellows are powerful enough to bring you the voice of the protector of mankind. Look at the choir master. Breathing heavily, the choir master covers his face and whispers, "It is over, Lord Captain. We are in the world of flesh again." "Are you well, Cabela? Do you remember what happened? How do we met death?" "I remember stumbling. I remember my doubt in the truth of the tenants throwing me off my feet. I remember deciding to kill, and not because I heard his whisper, but because I deemed it to be right. Death whispered my name, for a spinner without a thread is like a sky without stars. They would drown in their own soul's darkness. But you have reminded me of who I am, and that my shameful weakness must be extinguished." Cabela looks away. "This Naki Erebus is the payment of the Undying One's demands? The price of redemption, the price of freedom. Who is this person? Where are they from? I do not know. Help me find them, Domin. Your factotum oversees archives that contain many names. Let him find the one that death spoken. And I will pay the price that was set. For I know, I feel with all my essence, the death of Naki Erebus is the key, the answer to my questions." Cool. So, whoever that is, well, we'll go kill them. Let's go talk to the factotum then. We need to go to the bridge. I'm stupid. There we are. We can go talk to the bridge, or we can go to the bridge to talk to the factotum, and then from there, I'll probably call the episode. I kind of want to talk to this guy just because I know I'll forget if I do it later. I must locate someone named Naki Erebus. Find whatever information you can. Erebus. The clan name is familiar. If I may ask your lordship to give me a little time, the flagship's archives being as vast as they are, I will spare no effort in finding them as soon as possible. 15 minutes? That's it? High Factotum pokes a triumphant finger at the data slate. I found them, your lordship. The Erebus family are a lesser Voidborn clan. They served in the boarding teams for many generations, spilling blood in the name of the dynasty. In the service of her ladyship Theodora, Erebus displayed impeccable heroism on several occasions. Unfortunately, the clan was all but wiped out 2 decades ago during a confrontation with enemies of humanity. For their valor and sacrifice, Lady Theodora granted the surviving members of the clan noble estate privileges and the right to settle on the capital world. It's not common for the Voidborn to settle on a planet. Gravity is merciless to the Voidborn, but that does not mean they are incapable of adapting to it. Living on the capital world is a reward worth putting in the effort for. And what about Naki? The name Naki appears in reports. At least a dozen different women bore it over several centuries. But there's no data on any living person with that name. The head of the Erebus family will likely have more information about the past 2 decades of their clan's history on Dargonis. I must go to Dargonis. I will send the dynasty's representative on the capital world an instruction to summon the Erebus family to the palace. Epic. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Now she's in our party. Ruined palace. Have we been here before? I'm losing my mind. We have, right? Oh no, we have not. There's a ton of bullshit we don't know. What the fuck? Ancient Servitor? Combat Servitor? Okay, this is a whole fucking thing. Well, shit. Okay, cool. There's something here. Let's grab that. Let's read that real quick. Decree of Gubernational Notarial Will. I don't know what that is. Blood sign decree. By the grace of the God Emperor of Mankind, we, Jim and Nigel von Powen, for the good of our world and the deliverance of our people from the wrath of the heavens and the fury of distant stars, hereby command to provide for the needs of the governor's office no more and no fewer than 20 faithful young men and maidens pick in accordance of our instructions, each 7th rotation around the heavenly body, robust and firm in body and spirit, voluptuous in shape, of similar height and stature, dainty and beautiful, fair of hair and with eyes color of a midday sky. So shall be it. Okay, creepy. Little creepy dudes. That's fine. Ooh, look at that. Bonebreaker Maul. Cool. And we have the Symphony of Pain, a Drukhari one-handed weapon. An exotic sword. Interesting. Can I give that to Cabela? Because that seemed really, really good. So this is 20 to 32 with bleeding and everything like that. Let me see here. I have so much bullshit. Yeah, 30 to 43. Yeah, that's crazy. If that's the case here, let's do this. Honestly, this is just overall better. So should I... Oh, this is a one-handed exotic sword. And this is actually better than that one. Right? Yeah. Okay, well, we're back on the double sword train, apparently. Holy shit. These are amazing. What the fuck? Emperor's Will. Jin of Yuzumir. See, and those are better than the fucking cool sword. I guess I never did go through and put all this shit on them, huh? Jesus Christ, what is this? This one's awesome too. What the fuck? Why was I using these shit swords? Am I actually stupid? Anyway, Abelard. You also need a better sword. So let's take a look here. You do have the hammer, which is better. So we'll give you that. If he can do Drukhari weaponry, he could use that. And it is better than... Ooh, it's so much better. Oh, it's so much better. Okay, we need to get him Drukhari weaponry. Apparently. If he can even get it. Damn, I should have done that on the level up. Shit, I wish I would have known. But he'll rock the hammer for now. It's fucking sick anyway. The hammer's fucking cool. You can actually use something better than that stub carbine. That's crazy. You can do an arc rifle. Or you can do this. The repeater. The arc rifle is better. I don't think I'm ever going to use it. But we'll see. +5 willpower, +5 perception. This one gives +10 perception. Navigator's power, suffer 5 penalty to the characteristics until the end of the navigator's turn. This penalty stacks prolonged until the navigator's next turn is okay. Whereas this one that I have currently equipped All allies targeted by the navigator's power gain +4 additional movement points. Infusing all allies targeted with navigator power gain +7 bonus to all their characteristics until the end of navigator's turn. Yeah, this is way better. Fuck that. Fuck that, stupid. Stupid bullshit. Just give her a big hammer, shall we? That'd be funny. I think you're good, right? This is actually a better sniper rifle. Holy shit. Yeah. So we'll do that. And then we'll do that. And then this is just a badass sniper rifle that we just have. I guess we never did look through our shit here. So let's see. Me. I can use these good sniper rifles, but the one I have is actually better than this one. So it doesn't really matter. Okay. Cassie's good. Avalar's good now. Solomorn, you do have that shotgun that's pretty fucking good. Leto is a good boy. And then she's got the badass swords now, and we can use all her sword abilities. So, hell yeah. These kicked ass, but these are gonna kick way more ass, apparently. So that's sick nasty. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and leave it there for today. And we'll check out this this palace, this abandoned palace next time. I don't know where it came from or why I didn't look at it the first time, but we'll look into it. We'll have some fun. I'll see you in the next one.